Good morning and welcome to another adventure on the Isle of Arran. Today I'm in Glen Rosa and we're going to have a walk around the Three Beinns. It was snowing over here yesterday, but I wasn't sure how much snow had fallen. There's a lot less than they'd forecasted, but the ground has been frozen for several days now. It's been sub-zero for the last 3 or 4 days. The ground in the glen is frozen, so I've got my microspikes, crampons and axe should it be needed, because it will be icy further up. Now, if you saw the last video, you'll know that Meg unfortunately is injured. By the time this video comes out, she should have had her surgery and will be on the road to recovery. So looking up the glen, this is the ever impressive Garbh Allt closing off the head of the glen. But we're not heading that way. We're going to be turning left and heading up the side of Garbh Allt. Yeah, so there is some ice on the path here, so I'll just log that away in the memory, because we come back down here on the return. In the background there, that's Beinns. That's the third of our 3 bends for today. We're going to go anti-clockwise. Over to the right here, that's our first target, Beinns. That's not actually the summit, that's the start of the ridge. But to get there, we go over this boggy ground, which is resembling an ice rink. So the micro spikes are going on here. Okay, that's me tooled up with the micro spikes. On we go. So this is Beinns summit. I'll just give you a wee look round from here, and then we'll drop down out of the wind and get my crampons on. Now, looking back down that way, that's Brodick Bay and Holy Isle in the background. And this is looking back along the ridge we've just come along. Coming around to the right here, that's Beinns in the distance, and Beinns, which is our next target. And that's Akir, Castle Arval at the back, Garbh Allt, Sui Fergus, North Goatfell, and finally Goatfell. Okay, as I said, I'm going to put my crampons on now. This soft snow is starting to ball up underneath the microspikes, which makes them dangerous, so we'll get the hardware on. On my way over to Beinns now. Absolutely beautiful up here today. There's a strong wind, so the wind chill is quite high. Can't remember what it was forecast at, maybe -9, 10 or something like that. Check when I get back. But yeah, it's pretty chilly. We're on the north-west side now of Ben Tarson. Doesn't get any sun at this time of year, and this is what happens to it. So that's why I've kept my crampons on, much safer. Don't want any balling up on the microspikes, so crampons definitely on this sort of terrain. Right, steady away to the top. Well, it's absolutely beautiful up here. The wind actually has eased off slightly. So that's the summit. We'll just head over there to the summit of Ben Tarson and give you a look round. This isn't the longest or most technical ridge in Scotland, but in conditions like this, I reckon it's still one of the finest. In the distance there, that's Beinns. That's our next target, the third of the Three Beinns. This is just fantastic. I haven't seen anybody since we left Glen Rosa. I've had it all to myself. Unbelievable. What a place. What a place. I think even the old man is a little less grumpy with this beautiful sunshine. Just coming up onto the summit of Beinns now, our third and final summit for the day. And looking back along towards Ben Tarson there. Garbh at the back, North Goat Fell, Ben Cleven just in front there. That was the first one we did this morning. Looking down to Brodick, 2 o'clock ferry waiting to go. Holy Isle, and that's our descent route down that way. And looking across into the sun, I don't know if the GoPro picked this out, but the Antrim coast is very clear today. Yeah, extending all the way along. It's a long time since I've seen it that clear. That's the Kintyre Peninsula over the other side of the water. And that's the Pernmill Hills, just with a wee bit of snow on the tops. In fact, it's quite a lot's gone since this morning off this side. Well, that's me back in Glen Rosa. Not as much snow up there as was forecast, which actually made it for quite tricky conditions underfoot. A lot of ice on the path and lower down, and even where there was snow, it was actually quite thin. Anyway, it was very enjoyable. We've got some cracking views up there. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. I'll leave you with this lovely view back up Glen Rosa of the late afternoon sun on Ceir Mhor and the Witch's Step.